Sometimes you need to take the opportunity just to come out and see a full moon is that complete rounded circle, which is made up mostly of gases.
Ain't nothing changed, nothing new here to see. This ain't nothing but some political maneuvering.
America.
Welcome to the eulogy, eat it up. It's called political buffoonery.
Hey there, everybody, and welcome to This Week in DUMBmocracy, where we showcase some of the dumbest newsmakers of the week. Today, the emphasis is heavily on the word dumb. The left likes to position themselves as the party of intelligent people. They're the smart party. They have all the degrees. They have all the fancy titles. They know better than you. But we know better, right? Because we've seen that they're also the party that is worried about Guam capsizing because there's too many people on it. They're the party of wearing crocheted masks during the pandemic and offering you free French fries if you got jabbed with an experimental vaccine. So we know better than that. That was on display this week as well during this eclipse that everybody was so excited about. So, of course, everyone on the left had to be an expert on the eclipse. Well, let's just say that for some Democrats and some lefties, it didn't work out so well. The dumb certainly showed through the darkness of the eclipse. We're going to examine two instances of this, but before we do, please subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss any other shows. And if you like what you see and hear in this or any other video on the channel, please be sure to smash that thumbs up button, like, comment, share the show with your friends, all that really good stuff that helps us out because it all helps the channel grow thanks to that YouTube algorithm.
Yes, it must feed.
Thank you guys so much for helping to get the word out about the channel and for all you newbies out there. I hope this video earns your subscription as we look at some hilarious buffoonery concerning the spread of fake science by very prominent pseudo-intellectuals on the left. This one's going to be a doozy, folks. We start in Texas with Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee presiding over an event to watch the eclipse. It's with some students there, and Sheila Jackson Lee decided to give a little bit of a talk before the festivities began, and everybody started going into the field behind them to look at the eclipse. Very good events, should be educational for these students, except this is Sheila Jackson Lee we're talking about. Let's just say I am so glad that she is nobody's science teacher.
And sometimes you've heard the word full moon. And sometimes you need to take the opportunity just to come out and see a full moon is that complete rounded circle, which is made up mostly of gases.
Say what now?
The moon is mostly made of gases. I half expected her to say it was made of green cheese. But mostly gases, that's a new one here. No, Sheila. No, it's not made of mostly gases. In fact, we checked. We've landed on the moon. We know what's up there, and it's not mostly gases. It's like a big rock. I want you to understand this. It's not gas.
Dumb old lady with a dumb mouth.
And that's why the question is why or how could we as humans live on the moon? Are the gases such that we could do that?
What? Sheila, darling, the gases is not the reason why we can't live on the moon. I think the reason why we can't live on the moon is there's no freaking atmosphere. You can't breathe on there. You gotta wear remember the spacesuits from the 60s and the 70s when we would use NASA to go to the moon and have all these lunar exploration missions and things like that? You should remember that. You're old enough to remember that. I can't believe that this is a multiple time elected sitting congresswoman who is almost the mayor of Houston. She keeps getting reelected. This is what we're dealing with, folks. This is the level of buffoonery that we have going to Washington year after year. Good Lord.
The sun is a mighty powerful heat that is almost impossible to go near the sun.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Almost impossible. Oh, okay, yeah. Almost impossible to go near the sun. You can go near the sun. Things will combust, explode. We've seen that. We know it's pretty hot. The sun's pretty hot. She's right in saying that. The almost part is what's sticking with me here, as if there's a possibility we can touch the sun. Oh man, you run out of words at some point when you start seeing all the buffoonery all the time, and I'm there. I got nothing.
The moon is more manageable, and you will see in a moment, or not a moment, you'll see in a couple of years that NASA is going back to the moon.
The moon's a little more manageable, guys. Thank God for that. And if NASA goes back to the moon, great, but we want to talk about a space cadet? That's Sheila Jackson Lee. If you don't believe me, check out this video of her checking out the eclipse. It's got to be the funniest thing I've ever seen. Okay, here we go. She's looking up. We got to put the glasses on. Oh, no. She knows how to work the safety eclipse glass. Maybe she doesn't? Jerome, are you around? Jerome, can you help out Sheila Jackson Lee here with the glasses? She's having a little trouble here. Remember, folks, this is a sitting congresswoman who can't operate plastic glasses. Just, the struggle is real here. She's got people talking to her. She's getting distracted. Clearly can't do two things at once here. And she's got to hold on to them. They go over the ears, Sheila. Over the ears. All right, she's getting ready to do something here. Let's see what's happening.
Just act like you can see.
Did she really say act like you can see? Clearly she can't see. She doesn't know how to operate glasses, apparently. But act like you can see? What is that, like a prompt for people to make like they can see the eclipse? Because this is really just a press event where they're taking photos and they want people to make like they're seeing something? Oh my goodness. Just when you think they can't stoop lower, people like Sheila Jackson Lee, who are supposed to be better than you, right? They're the party of following the science. You see something like this and you realize you are more of a scientist than they are. Like what you see so far? Go ahead and smash that thumbs up button. Also, leave us a comment and tell us what you're thinking. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another show. We're not going to limit our fun to just talking about Sheila Jackson Lee and pointing and laughing at that buffoonery. There was also some eclipse-related buffoonery on The View. Now, I know what you're going to say. I got dinged up for a copyright claim the last time I showed a clip of The View. We're going to risk it because this is just too funny not to. This features Sunny Hostin, who, as you know, is a lawyer because she constantly tells everyone, which means she has an advanced degree beyond the college-level degree. She's totally wicked smart, everybody. You know, I got the same degree too, but I guess I'm not as smart as her. But she did some research on some of the more biblical-themed things that have been happening lately. The earthquakes, the eclipse, we got cicadas coming soon, and Sunny has some thoughts that she'd like to share with you.
Leaving, we've got a solar eclipse. We've got the earthquake. She ran down the hallway.
The rapture is here.
The rapture's here. And then also I learned that the cicadas are coming.
Cicadas?
If you're going to go on national TV to talk about something, maybe learn what to say and how to say it. Just a pro tip from a YouTuber.
Although I love for the first time in like 100 years. No. Two different. Well, this is what I read. Two different times.
Two different kinds of cicadas.
Yes, two different times are coming.
The good cicadas and the bad cicadas.
But for the first time in many years.
No, every 17 years this happens.
Well,
when Whoopi Goldberg has to correct you, and you said that you read up on this, man, that makes you a really, really ignorant buffoon. Did you do any research for this segment? You're just talking off the cuff here, mispronouncing words, don't understand what you're talking about. You're totally wrong on the science of the cycle of cicadas and all that. Really?
Red, I do believe you're talking out of your ass.
that's not what I read, but maybe, you know, maybe you know better. But
in a way.
Say all those.
Maybe you know better. The arrogance of Sunny Hostin trying to correct Whoopi Goldberg Whoopi Goldberg's right. Listen, the women on The View, they're hardly ever on point here. Whoopi's clearly getting frustrated by not only the ignorance of Sunny Hostin, but the arrogance. Well, I read different. The cicadas are coming, and it's like once every 100 years or whatever. My goodness. When you're this stupid, just shut up. Just stop talking. Let someone who knows better speak. But that's not the rules on The View. Sunny's going to keep on going.
All those things together would maybe lead one to believe that, either climate change exists,
That's more
or
the
something
point.
is really going on.
returning.
Earthquakes are not at the mercy of climate change. It's underground. It happens,
How about
and,
the warming of the
and
planet?
the eclipse, they've known about the eclipse coming because eclipses happen.
Amazing. Every word of what you just said was wrong.
So Sunny Hostin is trying to tie what's going on lately to climate change of all things. This is all man's fault. The Earth rotating around the sun, the moon going around the Earth, getting in the way of the sun, that's man's fault, y'all. These earthquakes that you're seeing, the shifting of the tectonic plates, that's man-made too. When Joy Behar has to jump in to say, no, you're wrong, and she's actually right for once, you know that you have gone way beyond the pale of buffoonery here. My God, I've never seen someone so wrong about so many things in the space of less than a minute. Completely buffoonish. But again, she's on the left. She's going to get a pass on this, guys, because they are the smart people. They're the intelligent people. They're the party of following the science. Clearly, this is science they want to talk about, yet they know absolutely nothing, zero, about the science of the moment and all these events that are happening right now that people are out there experiencing. But they got to be smarter than everyone else. This is what I like to call the BS buffoon. I talk about it in my book, which I'm reaching for right now. Schnooks, Crooks, Lies, and Scoundrels, a field guide to identifying political buffoons, available right now on Amazon, at Barnes & Noble, and other online bookstores. They are so confident in what they think they know, but they are clearly unqualified, inexperienced, and just talking out their asses when they're talking about things that are beyond their sphere of knowledge. Sheila Jackson Lee is not a scientist. Sunny Hostin is not a scientist. They shouldn't act like scientists on the air or in front of people, giving these speeches talking about utter nonsense, spreading misinformation. There's been more misinformation spread by these two people than I've seen in a very long time on the Science TM. When we're trying to delve down into real issues of science, we see Rand Paul going after Dr. Fauci for misinformation he was spreading. We've seen science ever changing when it comes to what was effective during the pandemic, what wasn't, and what we're learning from it. But then we got Sunny Hostin talking about man-made earthquakes and man-made eclipses, and we got Sheila Jackson Lee talking about the moon being mostly gas. Come on here.
This madness has to stop.
This is just another example now of the left pretending to be the smartest people in the room, and clearly they're not. So the next time someone on the left tells you that they know something more than you because they have a degree or they're in a better position to know, remember Sheila Jackson Lee and her gassy moon, and Sunny Hostin and her man-made earthquakes. But listen, that's just my opinion, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let's talk about the stupidity of this. You know what? Let's just all laugh together about all this buffoonery about the Science TM coming from these buffoons. And as always, please like and share the video with your friends. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell. I'll be laughing along with you in those comments as we discuss this video along with any other shenanigans and buffoonery happening this week in DUMBmocracy.
All views and opinions expressed here are not necessarily of the mainstream media and may offend some listeners. It's called political buffoonery.